Hi, you're in the studio with Luke from GuitarIQ.com. Welcome to Guitar iQ&A, where you write in your burning guitar questions and I do my best to answer them. Today's question comes in from Taylor, who writes, I'm needing some help with upgrading my guitar pickups. I'd like some tips on what to look for, and could you help me decide between active and passive pickups? Hey Taylor, when it comes to upgrading your pickups, it can seem like there is just an entire world of options to choose from. Not only do you have your main types of pickups like your single coils, humbuckers, and P90s, for example, but each of these major families has so many different types and variations to choose from that it can be really hard just to make sense of it all. So while this isn't going to be a comprehensive navigation guide to the rabbit hole that is aftermarket pickups, in this video, I will cover some key tips to point you in the right direction. Okay, so first, let's deal with the easiest part of your question, active versus passive pickups. Now, I'm not going to get bogged down in a technical description of the two different types of pickups because let's face it, guitar players mostly really only care about how these pickups are going to affect their tone. So most traditional styles of guitar come standard with passive pickups. So we're talking your Strats, Tellys, Les Pauls, for example. You just plug them in and you're ready to go. Active pickups, however, require a power source. So this is usually a battery that's hidden behind your pick guard. And the benefit of this is that active pickups will give you a much higher output. So this means you're driving your amp harder, you're going to get more gain, more sustain, and more natural compression from your amp as well. Compared to passive pickups, active pickups are also extremely low noise, so you don't get any of that hum that you might associate with a Telecaster, for example. And typically you can expect a brighter, more articulate tone with a bit of a tighter low end from active pickups. So straight away from that description, you can see why these types of pickups have become an absolute favorite for hard rock and metal players. So having said that, active pickups are often criticized for being less dynamic and more clinical sounding than traditional style pickups. You'll find that the reason some people really love their sound is the exact same reason that others really strongly dislike their sound. It's also worth noting that active pickups can respond quite differently to the volume and tone controls on your guitar, which is another reason why a lot of players don't like them. And lastly, if you're like me, I definitely don't love the idea of needing to depend on a battery to power my pickups. If you accidentally leave it plugged in and the battery goes flat, then you're either going to get a terrible sounding guitar or your guitar just won't work at all. So personally, I don't use active pickups, but there's absolutely no right or wrong there. There's no better or worse. It comes down completely to personal preference of the genre you're playing in and the tone that you like to hear. Things to consider before upgrading your pickups. Be sure to experiment with the simpler and less expensive things you can do to improve your tone. Things like changing the picks you use and experimenting with different string gauges will have a really noticeable effect on your guitar tone. In terms of setup, the distance your pickup is from your strings and also the tilt of your pickup will make a dramatic difference to both the output level and the tone that you're getting from your guitar as well. In my own experience, a while back, I swapped out the pickups in a medium-priced Ibanez 335 style guitar that I used to own. I replaced the stock pickups with PAF style DiMarzio pickups, and I was really happy with the result. It got me closer to the tone that I was hearing in my head. Did it make my guitar sound identical to a far more expensive Gibson 335? Probably not. But was it worth the money? Probably. So if you are set on upgrading your pickups, because it can be expensive and there is a fair bit of guesswork involved, I mean, keep in mind that you're not actually going to hear these things until they're installed into your guitar. I'd always recommend starting out with companies that have a great reputation for pickups. Notable brands like Seymour Duncan, DiMarzio, EMG, Fender also make aftermarket pickups, and other brands that you may not have heard of like Bare Knuckle and Sir. These brands provide you with a massive range of quality options to choose from. While there are tons of variations, fortunately, these websites are a great source of information, and most of them offer pretty detailed search options where you can narrow things down by your guitar, your pickup type, the musical genre you play in, your specific tonal preferences, among other things. So in all of this, the key question is, what do you want your pickups to do that they're not currently doing? If you can get a clear picture in your head of what you're looking for, it's going to make this process of narrowing things down much easier. So do you want warmer pickups, brighter pickups, fatter pickups? Do you want your pickups to have more output, or are you simply looking for something with less noise? If you head over to guitariq.com, I'll link to a bunch of those websites that I just mentioned in the transcription of this video. And if you are interested to learn a bit more about this whole active versus passive pickup debate, then I'll be sure to include a few links where you can delve a little deeper into that as well. Well, that's it for this video. If you found it helpful, as always, please like and subscribe. I'm really keen to hear what pickups you guys are using. Are they stock pickups? Are they aftermarket, active, passive? Just let me know in the comments. Also, if you'd like to check out my guitar books, then head over to the website, guitariq.com. And last of all, if you have a question that you'd like answered, just leave it in the comments or head over to the Q&A tab on our website, and you might just find your question featured in a video just like this one. All the best in the practice room this week, and we'll chat soon. Cheers.